Weekly Show with David J. Maloney. This week, David talks to Biloxi Mayor Andrew Fofo Gilich and visits with zoologist Ric Urban and a special guest from the Mississippi Aquarium. With the Mo Giles Band, now here's your host, David J. Maloney.
Welcome to everyone at home, and normally I would say our studio audience. We have none today. We are actually in the historic Saenger Theater in Biloxi, Mississippi. It is currently being remodeled. I am your host, David J. Maloney. Well, to my left this time, the Mo Giles. The band Kiss recently canceled a concert in Salt Lake City so singer Gene Simmons could be treated for kidney stones. Doctors say the procedure was successful and Simmons should be spitting out blood in no time. Happy birthday to Beto O'Rourke, who just turned 47. If you'd like to send a gift, he wants your guns. Speaking of birthdays, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi just turned 69. The biggest difference between Prime Minister Modi and Trump is that Modi never bankrupted the Taj Mahal. I like that joke, I'm sorry. In a recent interview with CBS News, Hillary Clinton said President Trump is obsessed with her, which is ironic because Bill Clinton is obsessed with Melania. And according to a new survey, the occupation perceived as the least prestigious is actually real estate broker, which is kind of a surprise to me because I would have guessed Miami Dolphin. Speaking of football, a recent survey has revealed that 73% of women would rather watch football than have sex. Fortunately for them, they don't have to choose, thanks to halftime. If you've never seen the Weekly Show before, keep watching. We typically feature one local guest who you would like to know more about, and often one big-name guest. This week, we are again here at the Saenger Theater in Biloxi, Mississippi, as we spotlight this historic Biloxi staple. On this week's show, we've got Biloxi Mayor Andrew Fofo Gilich, as well as Ric Urban from the Mississippi Aquarium, who's brought a friend with him. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Mo Giles? And we are back. For our first guest tonight, we are honored to have none other than the mayor of Biloxi himself. Please give a warm Weekly Show welcome to Biloxi Mayor Andrew Fofo Gilich. Welcome to the show. Firstly, your nickname. How'd you get your nickname?
Well, I had two older brothers that would read to me, and I'm 1 or 2 years old, and the part in Jack and the Beanstalk, feet by Fofo, I smell the blood of an Englishman, and that whole day I'd run around Fofo, so they hung that nickname on me and stayed with me.
And it stuck all the way to now?
All the way. In Biloxi, everybody has a nickname, so that was a good one.
Now, for people who don't know as much about you, can you tell us a little bit about your background and
Well, yeah, my grandparents came, immigrants from Croatia, Yugoslavia, actually as part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire at the time, 1903, when they hit here. And, the seafood industry was on the rise, and the Croatians and the different groups, were part of, from the labor, then as well as the fishermen, and then now the canneries, and now it's casinos. But, it was a part of that Biloxi scene. And, I had a tremendous amount of cousins and aunts and uncles, and here we are. I'm leading the city where, it started for us. And so it's just a tremendous honor for me, to be here as mayor and just, setting up the next generations, our kids and grandkids. So, my 3 children and 4 grandchildren, they're all here within, reaching distance. So I'm real pleased to be here.
Well, we appreciate you being here, especially here in the Saenger. Now, you had your inauguration here.
I did. Yeah, just the scene, right? It's just beautiful. I hope you take some pictures of it. Yeah, in 2017, it was, it being challenged by weather and some of these other things, even through Katrina. But you just look at this field here. I mean, none, like no other. It's a jewel. It's what's called a gem of the South, and so we're real pleased, and I'm just loving being here.
Now, you could have had your inauguration in a lot of places. I mean, there's a lot of, with the casinos and everything, there's a lot of fancy places you could have gone. Why did you want to have your inauguration here?
Well, we know, like I said, you got to expose it. You see it. You feel it. You feel how cool it is. This place is really cool. And it has, just from 1929, I believe, and it was built, for the talking pictures. And I can't remember which the first one was, but I remember the last one. I saw the Sting here in the theater. But this was the Cadillac of theaters. There were a lot of theaters, as they're called, picture shows that we'd go to, walk to. But this was the place, and it still is the place.
Now, restoring Howard Avenue was kind of a piece of that puzzle.
Yeah.
And so, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Howard Avenue was in some of the pictures and some of the photographs you see from the 40s, and the 50s. It was sort of a dance floor. In 1941, Keesler Field, at the time now Keesler Air Force Base, jumped the population of Biloxi from about 14,000 to over 100,000 people. Now, this was downtown, and there were entertainment of every kind, barrooms and I'd say gambling parlors and pool halls, and just it was such a cool space. But it was around Howard Avenue and traffic on Howard Avenue. You could see each decade of what kind of cars were on the street and what kind of parades, and that's what I think is going to come back. You look at Broadway in Nashville and some of those things. So that's what's what we're trying to not recapture, but just we have a history.
So kind of like a Dauphin Street Mobile or a Palafox Street in Pensacola, or I don't want to necessarily say Canal in New Orleans, but a little bit of that.
Right, little Magazine Street kind of New Orleans.
There you go.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a similar kind of setup. It's not, we're our own thing, and we're trying to. A lot of folks, we have a natural market. People want to go see where they've been stationed, for 75 years ago, and. So it's a great challenge, but it's fun. I'll tell you.
And if you fill seats in here, then there's going to be people going to restaurants either before or after shows. That's going to increase.
Right. The baseball stadium, and that was all part of the general idea that we're going to create that energy, that synergy that will come, and having some people who would in apartments and condos and those kinds of things. That's we've got about $54 million in things that are cooking right now, and that are to be delivered by the district. And Lee Young and his group started this with the Barks building right next door, and it's coming. I mean, it really is a challenge just to keep up with what people are wanting to do. That's a good thing.
Aside from the Saenger, since we've got the opportunity, is there anything else as far as initiatives that you've got going on in your office that you'd like to share with some of our viewers?
Well, we've just awarded from Go Mesa money, which is the Gulf of Mexico Oil Exploration Security Act, Go Mesa, you might hear that. But we were awarded about $6 million to put in the waterfront, the boardwalk. You see some places where there's 10-foot boardwalk, and it will be this 2 phases, one on Back Bay where the state office building is. So we're going to build a boardwalk so people can walk and enjoy and touch the water and smell the water and smell and see those kinds of things. But 2 projects that have been funded, and it would be from Oak Street to the small craft harbor with that sort of, that 10-foot boardwalk and knee wall. So a lot of things happening.
Mayor, thank you so much for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Andrew Fofo Gilich.
Just Fofo. Thank you.
Fofo it is. Our second guest tonight is bringing fun, education, and discovery to the city of Gulfport with the opening of the Mississippi Aquarium. And we're so excited to see it all unfold. Please give a warm weekly show welcome to Ric Urban with the Mississippi Aquarium. So, you got a little friend there, huh?
I do. You know, I'm the animal guy at the Mississippi Aquarium, so I thought I'd bring a little animal.
Well, first off, Rick, tell us what that actually means, being the animal guy. What is your, I guess, what do you do there at the aquarium?
Well, the main title is Vice President of Animal Care and Conservation for the Mississippi Aquarium. So I'm responsible for all the staff and our entire animal and plant collection that we're going to have at the Mississippi Aquarium.
Tell us about the aquarium here. Tell us about it itself.
You know, the aquarium has been part of the community and been a talking point since 2015. You know, they've really kind of wanted, the city fathers wanted an aquarium back. And so they found my CEO, David Kimmel, to come lead the project and be able to kind of create this opportunity for this coastal experience for our guests to be a world-class facility. We are going to have, it's a 5.8 acre campus right there on Highway 90 across from Jones Park. And I think all of our guests and your viewers have been watching the construction for the past couple years. When I got down here in February of 2018, it was a pile of dirt. But then that pile of dirt has now gone vertical with concrete, and it is just taking on a life of its own right now.
Now, how big is it going to be? I know you mentioned something about the acreage.
Yes.
As far as structures and different features that it's going to have, tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, you know, we've got, I think, 13 different environments, habitats for that you'll see animals in, as well as we're probably going to have over 200 different species of animals and about over 50 species of plants around the park. It's going to be one of those kind of immersion opportunities. We've got a lot of the buildings that you see, and we have that first big building you see is our entrance. Then we have a traveling exhibits building or events building. Then we have our oceans community building, which is the main one that you see, and that is going to have the icon for the aquarium is, it's a 310,000 gallon oceans community habitat, and it's 27 feet deep. And with a 360 degree acrylic tunnel that's 30 feet long passing through the center of it.
I've been, I think Atlanta has one that's kind of like that, right?
Right.
Where you kind of walk through and you can see the fish swimming above you and sharks.
And a lot of those have a solid floor. Ours is going to be a transparent floor, and you can look right through.
So the tube is going to go through the middle of the aquarium. So you can see above you, you can see below you, you can see every which
And
way.
so our sharks will be swimming, below you, beside you, above you.
That's the same way it is for me when I go into a courtroom.
Yeah.
That needed a drum riff, by the way. Thanks. So what would you say is going to be, is that probably the main attraction, or do you have some?
Well, I mean, that's one of the icons. We try to build icons throughout. So every turn that you're going to have, there will be a new experience. Mm-hmm. So once you get out of that building, then we have North American river otters. We have a 90,000 gallon freshwater habitat, which will have a lot of our Mississippi native fishes in it. Then we have our aviary, which will be for birds from around the world. And then we'll also have our crocodilians and our Atlantic bottlenose dolphins.
Now, I was told that there was going to be, 3 large sails.
Yes.
What do those represent? And tell me where those are going to be.
Yeah. Our sails, come from our logo on our shirts and attire. And those sails are our pillars. We believe in conservation, education, and community. And so these 3 sails will be kind of these icons out in front of the aquarium. So the tallest one, I believe, is around 58 feet tall. So one of that tallest sail is that high. So you'll be able to see those sails all the way from the west side of Gulfport by Island View all the way down to, past Shaggy's and such. When you come down Highway 90, you will see where the beginning of Mississippi Aquarium is. Yes.
What is the process for getting, I guess, one, accredited, and two, being able to get animals for the zoo? I've always wondered where do the animals come from? How do you get them? I mean, I know this has to be a process.
Yes. Oh, and that's a good one. You know, I'm part of, since being around in the business for 40 years, I've been a member of the American Association of Zoos and Aquariums, or the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. That's AZA. AZA is the gold standard for zoos and aquariums throughout North America. And we even have some worldwide members as well. And it's about 235 zoos and aquariums that are accredited, and we are going for our accreditation next spring. I'll have all the paperwork done, and we'll issue our application, and then we'll have the accreditation committee come visit during the summer, and then hopefully by next fall we'll be accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. And that is, like I said, that's the gold standard for institutions throughout the United States. Having friends around the world makes it a lot easier for us to acquire animals, because we have our animal list for each one of the habitats, and I've been reaching out to my colleagues and telling them I need a little help. You know, I'm opening up this aquarium and I need some animals.
Are there going to be memberships that people can purchase, annual memberships, or have you guys figured out how that's going to lay out yet?
Oh yes, and that has begun. If you check our website, you know,
what is the website?
It's
so we can put it up?
msaquarium.org,
okay.
And we are starting our membership drive now, and being able to the memberships and selling. People can set up events and everything else for the aquarium, or bringing your family and friends to the aquarium.
So just go to the website,
yes,
and you can find out all the different packages that are available. I guess we're going to be back with you later on with some with some animals, correct?
Okay, you bet.
And we'll be right back. And we are back with Ric Urban from the Mississippi Aquarium. That guy is a monster, huh? Here, I'll try and help keep this thing going.
Yeah, I think he is.
It is a he, correct?
Yep, his name is Scrub.
Scrub, how did he get the name Scrub?
Well, he's been an ambassador animal. We'll go ahead and take that splat mat off.
Okay, go ahead, yeah, because he's going everywhere there. Here, I'll keep this guy over here. Although
just
it is doing its job as a splat mat, I can tell you that.
There we go. There we go.
There he goes. Okay, so how do you get the name Scrub?
Well, Scrub has been around as an ambassador animal in Mississippi for around 35 years. Mm-hmm. And so Scrub came to us. He was used up in North Mississippi for a while. I'm a little out of breath because he's over 50 pounds. So he was used as a wildlife ambassador, and then he was taken over, and we picked this guy up from the Central Mississippi Turtle Rescue Group. And he came down to us as a rescue animal, and he's just one of the best animals to have as an ambassador for native species around Mississippi.
Now, when you say ambassador animal, what does that mean?
So we have animals that we can take out that are conditioned and that kind of are used to us handling them. And so with all the handling that I do of Scrub, he's used to my hands being on him, so he's not trying to, defend himself or trying to bite me.
Got it.
So our ambassador animals we make our connection with wildlife to our guests. So part of what I like to do is I bring some animals out, we engage you, we get you excited about it, and then we empower you to want to go do something for the animals in our backyard and around the world.
Now you said something, did you say shelter? Did you say he was like a shelter type animal?
Well, the gentleman that passed away that had this animal did not have a place for the animal to go after.
So he was a pet?
He was a pet. Yeah.
So he was a pet. So like a shelter, like with dogs and cats, somebody can't care for them anymore. They turn this massive 50-pound turtle into
a rescue facility, yes.
And then
because when people, one of the things people don't understand, when you find a baby turtle out on the road or in your backyard, if you take that turtle in, you've kind of moved that turtle from its habitat,
you've
its environment.
essentially domesticated it to some extent.
Well, if you take it back out to release it, you have to release it in the same area. So it's like taking you out of Biloxi and moving you to the Jackson and dropping you somewhere in Jackson.
I moved from New York to the South, I get it.
Right. So you don't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I learned college football real fast though.
Right. We have to know what colors to wear.
Which is sometimes you find a hurt bird, a hurt squirrel, a hurt something, and a family wants to try to nurse it back to health. And I've always heard rumors, or I don't know if it's a wives' tale or whatever, that if you do that, it gets rejected when it gets put back out in the environment. Is that a fallacy? Is that an actual thing?
Well, it is kind of a wives' tale that if you touch a bird and put it back into its nest, the adults will not reject it. Okay. They will actually go to it and take care of it. Mother Nature is a really funny with animals. There is that sense of survival, and so there's always that nurturing thing with any animal. They will find their young, and they will take care of it.
Now, earlier with the smaller turtle, I was petting the outside of the shell.
Sure.
And I had asked you when I pet it whether or not a turtle can actually feel when you touch the outside of its shell, because I just presumed the shell was, and therefore, but they can actually feel it when you touch the outside of their shell?
Oh yeah, the outside of the shell, it is.
Yeah, see, there we go.
The outside of the shell is, it's keratin, just like your fingernail. So you can feel that, and then it's got the bony skeleton directly underneath it. And if you take this one here, you can see that the vertebra is directly attached to the back of that shell. So your backbone is right here.
I'm a lawyer. I have no backbone.
But come on.
Yeah.
So the backbone's here, and they can feel everything. So like with eastern box turtles around here, I know people find the eastern box turtle or the Gulf Coast box turtle, and some people would think, oh well, we have to mark it to make sure this is the one we found in our yard. When you put fingernail polish, or if you bedazzle that animal, you are putting the fingernail polish right on that animal, which will kind of seep into the shell.
Oh, wow.
And almost poison the animal. But then also you're making it, the shell is camouflaged. And so now once you're bedazzling that turtle, it has no more camouflage.
Last quick question. Is this the full size of this turtle, or will this turtle get bigger than this?
Oh, he'll get much bigger. I've worked with another alligator snapping turtle, which was almost twice the size of Scrub and over 150 pounds.
Wow, that's crazy. Rick, I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
You got a fist bump on that one because the turtle's kind of done you wrong there.
Yeah.
That's our show for tonight. Thank you so much to Mayor Andrew Fofo Gilich, as well as Ric Urban here, and Scrub. Mo Giles, take us home.